Hello, this is Ron Paul with your weekly update for Monday, March 17th. The reaction of Senator Dianne Feinstein to last week's revelation that the CIA secretly searched Senate Intelligence Committee computers reveals much about the elites in government that think about the rest of us. Spy on thee, but not on me. The hypocrisy of Senator Feinstein is astounding. She is the biggest backer of the NSA spying on the rest of us, but when the tables are turned and her staff is the target, she becomes irate. But there is more to it than that. There is an attitude in Washington that the laws Congress passes do not apply to members. They can trample our civil liberties, they believe, but it should never affect their own freedom. Remember that much of this started when politicians rushed to pass the Patriot Act after 9/11. Those of us who warned that such new powers granted to the state would be used against us someday were criticized as alarmist and worse. The violations happened just as we warned, but when political leaders discovered the breach of our civil liberties, they did nothing about it. It was not until whistleblowers like Edward Snowden and others informed us of the abuses that the debate over surveillance that President Obama claimed to welcome could even begin to take place. Left to politicians like Dianne Feinstein, Mike Rogers, and President Obama, we would never have that debate because we would not know. Washington does not care about our privacy. When serious violations are discovered, they most often rush to protect the status quo instead of defending the Constitution. Senator Feinstein did just that at the NSA spying revelations began to create pressure on the intelligence community. Her NSA reform legislation was nothing but a smokescreen. Under the guise of reform, it would have codified in law the violations already taking place. When that fact became too obvious to deny, the Senate was forced to let the legislation die in the committee. What is interesting and buried in the accusations and denials is the alleged CIA monitoring was over an expected 6,000 Senate Intelligence Committee report on the shameful and un-American recent CIA history of torture at the Gulag Archipelago of secret prisons set up across the world after the attack of 9/11. We can understand why the CIA might have been afraid of that information getting out. When CIA whistleblower John Kiriakou exposed the CIA's role in torturing prisoners, he was sent to prison for nearly 3 years. But Senator Feinstein and her colleagues didn't lift a finger to support him. So again, you have the double standards and hypocrisy. The essence of this problem has to do with the difficulty in managing the U.S. empire. When the government behaves as an empire rather than that as a republic, lying to the rest of us is permissible. They spy on everybody because they don't trust anybody. The answer is obvious. Rein in the CIA. Remove its authority to conduct these kinds of covert actions. Rein in government. Lawmakers should not defend Fourth Amendment rights only when their staffs have been violated. They should do it all the time for all of us. The people's branch of government must stand up for the people. Let's hope that Senator Feinstein has had her wake-up call and will now finally start defending the rest of us against a government that increasingly sees us as the enemy. Thanks for calling this update. A new update is placed on this number, 888-322-1414 every Sunday. The written text can be found on my Ron Paul Institute website at www.ronpaulinstitute.org and on my Facebook page. Thanks for calling.